Hi, I'm Ashley Adamson. Welcome to Tea Time. It's unedited, unscripted. We cover trans topics and personal development. It's like personal development cake with trans sprinkled all over it. So if you're not trans, you can still get some personal development in here. But yeah, so the topic today is mood swings. Thank you for suggesting this as a topic. I wanted to talk about this because I've had some serious mood swings lately just with the estrogen and COVID and, isolation and all this other stressors. It's definitely, I will experience mood swings, but I have a really good foundation and I want to explain to you this foundation because when you get hit by a mood swing, it gets pretty hard to do things well, right? How much does it suck when you just get hit by that dip where you're going like, I can't do this right now. Like, do you get that feeling? And how do you climb yourself out of the hole when you feel like you've fallen into it? This is what I'm going to share is basically a technique to kind of get out of that deep hole. And that is learning how to stabilize. And I think this is a really powerful and really simple process. We often focus on the downs as the problem, but you know that you operate like a sine wave, right? You've noticed that where you'll have these really high peaks where you feel great, and then you'll have these equally opposite big lows. And I don't know if you've seen this, but they seem to be related in terms of their proportion, their amplitude. Trying to remember math. I was terrible at geometry. Their math, and then their math amplitude, and then kind of like they're proportional. So this is gonna sound weird, but next time you have like one of those really high positives, it might actually be a good practice to try finding a way to control your high. And I think that's something we avoid because when we get like a great high, like a positive high, like gender euphoria or happiness, or just something that feels great, you just want to ride that all the way to the top, right? But here's my theory, and I'll have to validate this with my neuroscience sister, which is that you're basically building the same pathway that allows that high positive emotion also can allow that negative downward emotion. So equal highs, equal lows, right? So learn to work on managing your high, because when you do that, you'll actually have similar ability to manage your low. And it's a lot harder to learn how to manage your low cognitively when you're feeling low because you have less mental assets and ability to do this. But when you're on a high, it's a little easier to kind of feel like you're holding it together because it's a positive and good emotion, right? So that's a really simple practice. And if you want me to get a little bit more tangible, I'm going to try that right now. So picture, like when you're feeling that, like go to that feeling for a second. Go to that positive feeling and imagine yourself rising up and that feeling that feels great. As you start to go up there, start to kind of pull back on your perspective of being the rider on this roller coaster going up, and instead be the observer watching yourself going up and saying, okay, we're going to allow this to go up, but we're going to control it a little bit more to say, okay, it's going up, but we're allowing it to go up and we're controlling it. So it's like going upstairs that you're walking up rather than just like whoosh, a big slide going up. And that control where you could feel like you're going up in steps is going to give you the ability to also control as you're going down, and also give you more confidence in navigating the depths because you can say, oh, all right, like I know how to move up, I can also move down. I'm sorry I can't like just plug my brain and the things that I've learned into your brain and just share this with you, but that's honestly what these Tea Time episodes are, is me trying to give you as much downloads as possible and cut the time out for learning and get you to a place where you can really tackle things. and this is the mood swings episode, I have a second thought, which is when you're in a low, it can often feel like the need to kind of like avoid it and push it away. And that's going to take you more energy than it is to just deal with it or just be with it. So I also encourage you, if you feel so inclined, to just allow it to be and just say, all right, you're there. And I'm still going to do some things and I'm not going to try and push you away. You're there. I acknowledge you. And then there's a third thing, and I cover this in self-partnership, and I'm sorry I haven't released these videos. I've looked at them and I need to edit them, and I just haven't gotten around to creating the self-partnership series, but it will be coming. The part of you that feels low is to then like give it the attention that it wants, because it probably has a voice. If we were to give it a voice, it probably has a voice. And it probably sounds like your inner child, and it probably sounds like a part of you is not getting the love and attention that it wants. So go ahead and be the one to give it the love and attention that it wants. Whether that's just giving yourself a hug or giving that feeling a hug, learn how love can change. And what I mean by that, there's many ways that can be meant, but what I mean specifically in this context is believing that love is not only accessible through another person. I believe there is this misperception of love that it must come from another person, because when we believe in that system, it basically means we cannot give ourselves love. And I mean this on a very deep level. Like cognitively, we can say, yeah, sure, no, you can love yourself. But if you really, really delve into practicing self-love, you're going to start to notice that there's these deeper things that might be holding you back from really embracing it. And so the bridge you're going to have to cross in giving this part of you that wants love is to also allow yourself to acknowledge that you can be the one to give love to yourself, and that is totally valid. Totally. So that's all we're going to cover for today. Thanks for joining me. Oh, by the way, I still have a few life coaching spots left, so if you'd like to join me, hit me up in the message below. I left my email and I'd love to talk to you. Please suggest topics too. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this as well as other episodes, and I will see you tomorrow. Okay, this is Ashley Adamson signing off. Shoes!